Today on Wolf Pack Weekdays, we're going to be doing a game review of H1Z1, King of the Kill. Welcome back to Wolf Pack Weekdays. Like I said, today we're going to be doing a game review of H1Z1, King of the Kill. This has nothing to do with it. This is just a kunai I kind of wanted to show off. It's the 4th Hokages from Naruto. Just kind of wanted to show it off, and it kind of fits because it's a weapon, and we're going to be talking about a game with shooter. Never mind. Anyway, we're going to be doing a game review of H1Z1, King of the Kill. And what King of the Kill is basically it's King of the Hill, like 100+ players, you know, parachute into landscape, the same landscape every time, the landscape of H1Z1, and you drop, you grab some weapons, and you just try to kill the rest of the people until you are the last team or last person standing. And basically, there's this toxic gas that closes in on you and makes the map smaller and smaller and smaller because that toxic gas will kill you, and you have to try to get to these safe zones while people are trying to kill you. And it's all about King of the Hill basically, and that's why they call it King of the Kill, which I thought was pretty clever. And you know, you try to work as a team to sneak around and get the supplies you need and get to these safe zones and outlast everybody and win. And you win. You get a bunch of crates, you get a bunch of cool stuff, outfits for the game, a crown, a bunch of stuff, and it's a lot of fun, and it's one of my favorite things to play. And I actually have done a lot of videos on it. I think they're still on the channel, so might be something worth to look at. I usually play with my friend Devin the Owl, and we have a good time. So that's why I want to do a game review of it. It's actually one of my favorite things to do on the PC. Now, before I get into the good of the game, I just want to say this is a Daybreak Studios, Daybreak Games game, and they are constantly putting out new things for it. It's a lot of fun. It's worth it. I think it's like $20 on Steam. It's not something that you have to have a huge capacity of a computer to actually run. It is a little bit required. You can't have a complete potato and expect to run it, but you can turn down the settings and actually make it run perfectly even if you have a bad computer. So it's pretty accessible to everybody, and it's a lot of fun. So just wanted to say that before I get into the good of the game. So without any further ado and without any rambling, we're going to get into the good of the game. The good of the game is that every time that you play it, it's a little bit different because you're going to find different weapons in different spots, different vehicles, different body armor and outfits and all sorts of things. And you're going to have to deal with different scenarios because these are real life people dropping into this landscape with you, and they're trying to kill you just like you're trying to kill them. And that's what makes it interesting, is that every time it's going to be a little different. And it has a lot of replayability. I always screw up that word. Replayability because of it. And like I said, Daybreak is constantly putting out different things and changing it and making the game better. So they're constantly improving it, and it's awesome. That it seems like every time I get on Steam, there's an update for H1Z1 to put on. So that's a good sign for a game, if you ask me, is when they're constantly trying to improve it. I mean, it is a little annoying because you have to update it every time you want to play it, but it's a good sign that they keep trying to change it up and update it and make it better. So that's a good. That's going to go under the good. Now, the shot system is actually quite realistic. There is drop. There are bullet drop. There is bullet drop. You have to actually pay attention to where you're aiming. You can't just spam click to win. You actually have to aim for the head. Headshots are possible, as in one hit, one kills. There's a lot of different guns out there that do a lot of different things, like shotguns, AR-15s, hunting rifles. They all do shots a little differently, and that's cool. That makes it more interesting because you pick up one gun, you have to know how to shoot that one gun. If you don't, you're probably going to get killed by somebody who does, and that makes it more interesting. So that's going to go under the good too. Another great couple reasons is that there's going to be funny moments. When you play with your friends in this, there's voice chat, there's team chat, all sorts of things, and it makes it a lot of fun because you sit there and you're able to talk to these people that could be across the world, and you know, it's like, I'm getting shot. Actually, here's an example.
Alright, I'm in D4. Street, no fear.
Devin, don't move, I'll bite it.
I'm not coming in there.
Yeah, you are. You're gonna see this.
I don't like biters. It hurts.
Oh god, what are you doing, Devin? Oh god, no. And it's got great stream ability and great filming ability. So if you're a YouTuber or a Twitch streamer or a YouTube streamer or whatever it may be, this is a game that you guys want because it has the ability to be streamed and filmed. And I filmed a bunch of videos with it. I've streamed it. I know my friend Devin has filmed and streamed it. It's a lot of fun, and it's something that you can constantly do, and especially with streams, you want something that you can keep playing without getting tired of it, and that's what this is good for. And I gotta put that under the good, because if it's able to be streamed and filmed, that's something people should know. And the last thing is that this game can actually be very beautiful. If you have a computer that can actually run it at the highest settings, it's a lot of detail. It's a lot of detail. The leaves are actually leaves. The grass is actually grass. There's wind. There's sound effect. There's all sorts of random locations. There's buildings and cities and all these things that make it look gorgeous. Like, I've tried it on highest settings, and my computer even had trouble with it, and I built this thing from scratch. It's a beast. And it even had trouble with it. So if you have the ability to do it, you have some pretty good processing, but it can be a very beautiful game. Now, like I always say when it comes to game reviews, there's no game that doesn't have some bad with it. And now we're going to talk about the bad of the game. A lot of the things that are in the bad, let me go ahead and say, is because it's still technically in beta. It's still being developed. It's still pretty rough. That's one of the first few things, is that hacking is still a possible thing. People do have aimbot, which I find freaking hilarious. And there is a way to report people if you die and you think it was a little bit weird. They'll go into their settings, check what they did, what they have on, that kind of thing. Because there's been times where a guy has been like, I can see a dot. He's so far away. And I get headshotted and killed with one shot. And it's like, there's no way. You would have had the luckiest shot with bullet drop ever. And he didn't have a hunting rifle either. It was a shotgun. So if he's that far away, there's no way. So hacking is still a problem. It still happens. It's very annoying, but it's just part of games, so you deal with it. Another thing is that there is glitches. One that I know pretty well is the parachute glitch. Because in the beginning of King of the Kill, you parachute in and you land, and that's where you start going. Like, everybody comes in at the same time and they land and they go, and you pick up the items that you need. You may die, you may not die, you may kill somebody, etc., etc. But it's called the parachute glitch, or at least that's what I call it, because you get close to the ground and then you're back in the air. Like, you weren't supposed to be here, or like the parachute doesn't open at all and you're just falling, and then you finally go up and you're parachuting. There's also been times where people just face plant into the ground and die immediately, and it says like killed by environment. There's times where people literally fall through the map. Glitches are still pretty present because it is a pretty new game and they're still working on it. Another thing that goes along with that is lag. Lag is still present. The servers aren't the greatest sometimes. Most of the time they're pretty good, but lag can cause other problems, like characters jumping and stuff. People, if they're lagging, you could be shooting them and wondering why they're not dying, and then you die because it turns out they're actually over there, and you were just lagging and you thought they were there. And it's still kind of an issue, but that's an issue that can happen with any kind of shooting game ever. It happens in Call of Duty, so it's not an uncommon thing, but it's still got to go under the bad list. And the final thing is more of like a gameplay thing. The bullet drop can be annoying, and it's fine if you learn how to use it, but the thing that gets really annoying about the gameplay side of it is that certain places are death traps. Pleasant Valley is completely just death. If you go to Pleasant, you're going into this place with high levels, rooftops, a whole bunch of guns, vehicles, places to hide, and if you go in there, you're taking your chances of dying immediately. And that kind of sucks. That kind of sucks that people know these spots so well that they can find the guns quicker than you and then go out and kill you. And that's more of like a complaint more than anything, more than a problem with the game. But I would still put it under the bad because it can be very, very annoying. Now, with all that being said, it's time to give the game a rating. And the rating for H1Z1 King of the Kill is going to be an 8.8. It seems pretty low considering the game ratings I've given before, but there's a reason behind it, and the reason is that it is still very early for this game. I'll probably do a full game review when it's completely out, but at its current state, they're still improving it. They're still making it better. They're still changing it. It's not a game that I would say is complete. So I don't want to give it a 10. I don't want to give it a 9. I don't even want to give it a 7 because it's not a bad game. So I'm going with an 8.8, a high 8 because it's a great game. It's still awesome to play even in its current state. Even with the glitches and everything, it's still a blast. So it's worth getting. But I honestly believe that when it's a complete game and it comes out fully, I think it might be a 10 out of 10. And I'll probably do another review of it because of that. I just want to give it a buffer because it isn't complete, and that's it. So, final thoughts on the game. It's a blast. It's a lot of fun. It's worth it. I've done gameplays of it. I've streamed it. I've met a lot of friends because of it. I've had a huge group of YouTubers become the squad, and we went out and played a bunch of H1Z1s. We won a couple times. It was a lot of fun. Let's Play Jay, King of Soup, Devin the Owl, and me. We did some funny shit with this game, and I highly recommend it. If you like any shooting games, if you like zombies, because there is the Just Survive mode where it's against zombies. I prefer the King of the Kill Battle Royals mode, but, you know, whatever. It's my opinion. Yeah, no, overall, it's a great game. It's definitely worth getting. It's like $20 on Steam. You guys will love it if you like anything to do with shooting. And, yeah. So, what do you guys think of it? Have any of you played it? Have any of you won it? I've won it like 3 times. I have the crown. I have all the stuff that comes with it. So, what do you guys think of it? Do you have any gameplay of it? Do you have any footage of it? Do you have any moments that you want to talk about? Tell me something about H1Z1 down in the comments using the hashtag WPW. And that's all I have for you today. So with that being said, thank you for watching. Subscribe for more. If you have any suggestions for the show, use the hashtag WPW down in the comments or on Twitter, and your ideas might just get featured on the show. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.